Good morning, YouTube. Muchísimo Eugene. Sitting here in my truck. Got about 25 minutes before I'm supposed to be at my appointment. I'm actually in the parking lot of the doctor's office. Never on time, so that's a good thing. It's good to be early, I guess. Today's video is going to be very short, maybe 15 minutes at best. And I'm going to title this, Nothing is ever what it seems. Nothing is ever what it seems. And to just be precise about what I'm talking about, I was looking at Hoarders the other night. I tend to watch that a lot. Hoarders. And I guess because I probably am somewhat of a light hoarder in comparison, and when I say that, just accumulating things, not so much messy and filthy, just a very organized individual that has multiple welders, different things like that, tools. I was watching this story about a North Carolina woman, and this, you can Google this story and go back and watch it in its entirety. She had gotten foreclosed on. It was a mansion. This thing had like 20 something rooms in it. It took them like maybe, I don't know, a week and probably 20, 40, 50 dumpsters to get all of the stuff that she'd acquired out of the house. And she was going through the normal detachment situation, like a lot of hoarders do, that don't realize that they really have a mental health issue. And what was striking about this story is, and I want you guys to go look at it and just look at it from beginning to end. And my heart broke for a lot of reasons. A lot of dynamics were going on there. You want to say hi, Leo? You want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, buddy. He's not a camera guy, but this is Leo. I told you guys about him. So you go in and look at this video, and then you'll have an idea of why I'm making this video. Nothing is ever what it seems. And they had a clinical psychologist there, and she was just priding herself on what she does. She said she specializes in hoarding disorder, or whatever you want to say. And the hoarder herself goes through so many dynamics in this particular episode, and a lot of people are trying to talk to her. She's not having it. She's manipulated everybody to get them to help move stuff from one area of the property to the street, on and on and on. Very intelligent lady. And no one ever, not one time, uttered that this was a classical case or a typical case of narcissistic personality disorder. No one ever says anything about narcissism on mainstream TV. The last time I heard narcissist personality disorder was Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. Nobody said it when the Murdoch murders, Alec Murdoch murdered his wife and son. They'll kill you to keep a petty secret, to what you and I would consider petty. Being obsessed with stealing, being obsessed with taking and he tried to pretend, like Alec Murdoch tried to pretend, used the excuse that he was addicted to pain medications or whatever it was. And in essence, they even had people that denounced that because he wouldn't have been able to manipulate consistently as he did, having that kind of addiction, it would have been, he wouldn't have been on top of his game as a lawyer. It just the pattern would have been a whole lot different. And this is what these people do. They use a crutch at the end of the day when they're caught and the jig's up. They use a crutch, like poor me. Why did you have a pill addiction? Yeah, no one asked that. Because what happens, they chase their tail. They don't have a logical explanation for anything, but they're very clever at making and pulling explanations out of the air. And this lady on Hoarders, if you look at this, like I said, it breaks my heart, because in many ways, and the thing is that the sympathy and the empathy was always directed at her. You know, my heart broke a little bit for her, but it broke more for the people that were being manipulated and bamboozled into this smoke screen of sorts, thinking that it was just a hoarding issue that she had. It was a control issue. It was an issue with losing her business, to which she probably was a manipulator, and it caught up with her and she lost her business. They're savvy when it comes to holding out in court and litigations. They're very savvy when they don't want to hold up litigations. They want to hold up divorce proceedings. They want to hold up any kind of accountability. They want to stall. It's called stall tactics. They're great at stall tactics. So that's what I really want to talk about as it pertains to nothing is ever what it appears to be. And I understand I'm getting a little vocal but intense about it, but the thing is, I'm really trying to strike a chord here. We must understand that narcissistic personality disorder is not just what we went through. It's not just what we see someone else go through. It is in every facet, in every corner, every crevice of our world. I'm about to go into the doctor's office here. I'm very, very certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is somebody working in this capacity here. I don't know who, I'm just, hypothetics, that are working in this capacity where it pertains to medical and providing care for people who are narcissists. These people relish attention. They relish being in positions of control. And if that control is just only on a maximum of just having a clipboard and coming in and able to ask people questions seemingly robotically, and then when they give you a logical, honest answer, you're gaslit to the point where you don't even know what's being done to you. And that's just an example of, and even before the doctor come, you're in to see you, you're all frazzled, you all depressed, and if he's a narcissist, he finished where the nurse leaves. He finishes where the nurse left off at with you. So they tag team gaslight you. They tag team invalidate you. And so it's important that you get this information about narcissistic personality disorder and NPD. I would encourage you to take the short way home. If you want to study it medically, psychologically, or as they say on the, it's a word for it. If you want to study it on spectrums, if you want to study it on the psychopathy level of it, you can do that. That would probably be a decent idea, a decent approach to doing this. But I would encourage you to listen to guys on here that truly understand this by way of experiencing it. It's not someone else's experience. These people on here, like myself, we understand how these people play in many ways that it's not even put in manuscript to help you understand, because these people weave their web of treachery into society, and they can look seemingly normal. So it is paramount that you guys get this information, attach it to yourselves, attach it to your heart, to where when you go out in public, you can be able to detect this and distinguish between what's real and what's not. Because if you don't, look at it this way. If we allow these people to get in, if we allow them a toehold into our space, massage us long enough and get comfortable with them, a lot of times you may not be able to realize you're being put under a spell, narcissistic spell. And by the time you find out that you've been bamboozled, who knows how much you've lost? Financially, mentally, emotionally. So you don't want to play around with this. Looking at mainstream media, you worrying about this, that, and the other. The one thing that I would ask you to be aware of more than anything in this world we live in is the evil that exists called narcissist. They are the pure evil in which I believe the Bible speaks about, the Jezebel spirit. So you have to be aware of this stuff on a daily basis. You have to equip your kids. You have to equip those who are closest to you, ones who you can entrust a little bit of this knowledge to. And if you can't tell them straight away what they're dealing with, you have to be able to help them avoid toxic situations, toxic relationships, your children, your daughters. You have to allow them to understand in a healthy, meaningful, loving way that if they don't understand that this person does not care for them for the right reasons, they're not invested in their life in the right way, you owe that to your children. You owe that to your family members. You owe that to your brothers and your sisters. Because if you know, you have to show. And if you know, you have to tell people as best you can to be aware of their own surroundings in many ways. Not so much just in the predatory way that we think, like rapists, child molesters. Narcissists are the epitome of evil. And so nothing is ever what it appears to be. And that's kind of where it all boils down to, looking at things at a glance and then thinking and pondering, is this what it is, or is this something different? Somebody tells you something and it sounds really good and sounds like it's very convincing. You can question that within your own mind. You can do that casually. Unbeknownst to that person, you can casually process that. But if you don't question anything, you fall for everything. So keep that in mind, guys. Thank you.